tell y'all? You tuning into the best morning show on the globe. It's Brad and Emery in the morning, y'all. LeBron or Jordan, either one when I'm performing. Crossover, buzzer beater and I'm scoring. Radham and Emery in the morning. Every play they on it. Every day I'm balling. Who's the coach? Who's the GOAT? Like Brady and Belichick, best show on the globe. And they embellish it. Y'all pin Tiffy, I'm Ken Griffey or maybe Mahomes. I stay in the zone, whether man to man or play in the zone. They can't stop me. Mayweather boxing, Curry with the shot, man. We just the best to be. Can we have our SP, please? This was meant to be. Every morning with Radham and Emery.
Yes, sir. You know the vibes. Brian in the morning. Marques, Brian, Justin, Emery.
Yo.
And let's just get right to it.
Yeah, so I know today's March 8th.
Yeah.
Usually I got facts. Forgot to look up facts for today. So as far as this day in history, it didn't happen.
Oh, fair enough. And,
right.
I mean, you have a big one tomorrow.
Yes, I'll be back on it tomorrow.
Yeah, huge one tomorrow. 24-year anniversary.
Yeah, no, I'll be back on it tomorrow. I was sitting here going over everything, yelling at my computer the whole time.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I forgot what happened today. Well, apparently, nothing happened today.
Well, I know what's going to happen right now is we're going to get involved in some spicy content.
Well, like I always say, we've got to have a serious snack for a serious conversation. Which, let's get into it.
So we're trying each Monday we try a new beef jerky from the Beef Jerky Outlet. And today is an ominous day because this one we're kicking it up a notch. So one thing I love about this place is that they have ranking systems of everything. They have ranking systems of heat, textures, so you can find something that's perfect for you. Just because you don't like something they have there, it doesn't mean you don't like their products. It just means you haven't found what's right for you. So
absolutely. So
we're going to try their fire beef jerky. Now, this is out of 10, this is a rank of 7. Okay? Now, here's my thing with heat. I enjoy heat in the right circumstances. Like if it's spicy with a purpose, I'm in. Like I like flavorful spicy things. I'm all about that. Like I love Popeye spicy chicken, for instance. Love it. Delicious. Because it has great flavor to go with the spice. However, I'm not into things that are spicy just for no reason. If it's just hot and it's just there to be hot, I'm out. And I don't like, another thing I don't like too about heat, I don't like the horseradish type heat. I don't like the heat that like clears my sinuses and like comes through my nose. I don't like that heat. I don't like the sneaky heat. The heat that like you think everything is cool and all of a sudden you're sad in 2 minutes. I don't like the heat that starts in the back of your throat. I don't like that heat. That makes me nervous. I feel like someone's choking me. Those are my heat criterias.
I used to love hot food.
Yeah.
Used to love me some spice.
Yeah.
I remember, have you ever had Wings Over?
No.
Okay, it's a chain. They're mostly in college towns.
Okay.
But I believe there's one in the city.
Okay.
They have some of the best wings I've ever had in my life.
Okay.
They have like 4 or 5 different kinds of hot, like different levels of hot.
Okay.
So if you want a little, like you said, hot with some flavor, you can get that. But if you want it to melt your face off, you can.
I don't understand that.
So me and the guys used to get the biggest wings that you can have, like 50 wings. But we got 5-6 people in on it.
Yeah.
Not that many.
10 a wing.
The hottest you can get. And we used to just let our faces melt off eating it now. If I ate one of those wings now, it might kill me.
Was it good though? Like were they?
Oh, they like I said, they have some of the best wings you've ever had.
But I'm saying the really hot ones, were they good?
They were good. I mean, they were like I said, they were hot.
That's okay.
They were. It was an ordeal.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm okay with it being.
But it was good.
Really spicy as long as we got a flavor with it. Like even like a good spicy like a gumbo is good with the nice flavors in there. But
they also had so many different flavors.
I like wings is something I want an abundance of options.
So I mean, you get that at the Beef Jerky Outlet.
Yeah. All right, here we go. We're going in.
The fire beef jerky. I'm nervous. I told you this yesterday.
All right, I'm gonna start with this one.
I told you I was nervous.
Yes, you did.
I said, this necessarily isn't what I would choose. I know you're big on the hot.
All right, here we go. Cheers.
Cheers. Getting a little cold from sitting in my car, but
this is gonna be sneaky. I could tell. Nothing's happening right now.
It's good.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it so far.
There it is.
I'm wondering what's gonna happen.
Oh, there it is. It's hitting me.
It hit you?
Yeah, it's coming. Could it creep up on the tip of your tongue and then
And
go
work
down
backwards.
and work down the sides?
Yeah, I feel a little something now. Mm-hmm. But it's good though. It's good. I'm going in for another one. I'm doing it.
It's a husky piece. Oh wow.
Should I hold on?
Oh whoa. Hold on. I didn't expect that on the
I mean, so far I'm all the way in.
That wasn't that bad of a piece.
I'm getting a little spicy. I feel it. Just let me know it's there. You know. But it's comforting. It's like a hug right now. Nothing aggressive.
I'm going back for a second piece. I don't know if I'm going to take a piece as big as what you took, but. All right. He's making a move for the milk.
It was good. It's good. Oh man, that made it angry. Sometimes you give a beverage to it, and it's just everything starts going crazy. But you know what though? It's spicy, and it's definitely no question. It's definitely spicy, and I can see why it's a higher ranking spice. But it's like I said, like it's not spicy for no reason. Like it has substance to it, and the spice is a comforting spice. It's not like an overwhelming spice. I remember my buddy had this sauce that like he got from like Mexico, and he was like, "Bro, just try this." I'm a grown man at this point.
That's hot.
I put it on my tongue. I was like, "Oh, it's not that." Oh, like literally, I started crying. I thought I was gonna die. Like, I thought death was near.
Yeah, it's starting to creep up a little bit now.
This might require some Tums later. I'm going back in though. I like it. I'm here for it.
That might all be you.
I'm here for it.
It's good. I like it.
It's delicious, but
It's a little too hot for me. So what is this? A 7?
Mm-hmm. Imagine a 10.
No, I don't know. I don't want to go above a 7.
No.
I would. I mean, like, make no mistake.
Yeah.
If we pulled one out from the package and it was a 9 or a 10, I'd try it. I would regret it the next day.
So that's my thing now. That's why now I stay away from spicy stuff because it's regretful the next day.
That's good. Has a lot of flavor. Like, if you like hot, you're going to enjoy that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't mind trying a 6. You can go to a 6.
Yeah, you're probably like a 5. You're probably in the 5 range.
See, here's the thing.
Ooh.
The best flavors.
Whoa. Whoa. Getting the forehead sweats.
Did that take a turn you didn't expect?
Yeah, we took a turn down another street. I'm still with you though.
Still with me?
Yeah, it's just really like honestly, and it's just like you know those hots where like your entire mouth gets hot. This is really just tongue for me.
Yeah.
And like a little bit, but it's mostly just tongue. Well, you get those sometimes you got those hots where like it engulfs your entire mouth and you just don't know what to do.
Oh yeah, that I this is I don't know. You're right. It's all mouth hot.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not the easiest thing to talk right now with this show with my tongue on fire.
There was this place in Reading that I don't know if you heard of it. It's like this wing place where you had to literally sign a waiver. The wing show how you had to sign a waiver because people have like died eating their wings.
Why would you go there?
I know.
Why would you go there?
Yeah, it was literally a waiver saying like, yo, if something happens to you, it's on you, bro.
You think they'll let us do a live show?
Probably.
I'm there. I'm there for it.
And there was degrees of just like, it was like mild, kind of hot, really hot, suicide, are you kidding me? And like they had a challenge, like if you finished like 10 of the are you kidding me wings, like you got some kind of prize or something.
Hopefully health insurance for life.
Yeah. I chose not to partake. Because that's not for me. Like like I said, I like spicy, but I don't want to do all that. I don't want to have to suffer for a day. Like that sauce I was telling you about, I didn't feel my taste buds for like 4 days.
Remember, you know the Boardwalk Mall down in Wildwood?
Mm-hmm.
They had that hot sauce store in there. You remember it?
I do.
They used to have the hot sauce challenge. Did you partake?
No.
Did it twice.
How'd that
Not
work
the same time.
How'd that work out?
First time it wasn't that bad. That's why I went back the second time. Second
It
time,
got weird.
regretted it. What it is they take their their in-house hottest hot sauce.
Mm-hmm.
They put it dip a toothpick in it. You have to hold the toothpick in your mouth on your tongue through 2 cycles of the Jeopardy theme song. If you do that,
you're good.
You get like a $25 gift card or 20. Like you get some gift card to their store.
How did it feel in there? Was it aggressive?
Oh, the first one I was like, no, it was hot. I'm not saying it's not hot. The first time though, I was like, I can handle this. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
Second time,
it was bad. I'm gonna get Amber with this later. 'Cause I love watching her.
What's it? What did they say in on Chappelle's show when keeping it real goes wrong?
Yeah.
That's what happened the second time. I was like, oh, I got this. No, I mean
You made it happen. But it was like, I should have done this.
Yeah, because if I'm gonna expose myself to go and do something like that in public, I'm gonna complete it. Mm-hmm. It's gonna happen.
You have to.
I don't necessarily want to.
Yeah,
and I kind of regret it.
You got an image uphold. I'm gonna get Amber with this later. I'm gonna put like something on this so she doesn't see the fire. I'm like, hey, try this new beef jerky. I love watching her eat hot food because she like is a baby with hot stuff. Like she can't handle any kind of heat. So like anything. Like,
it's almost gone now. It's basically gone.
Yeah,
so it doesn't hang around for a while.
It's like I never felt overwhelmed by the heat. Like I was there.
The packaging looks way more
intimidating. Yeah. But
I wouldn't eat the whole thing in one sitting though.
No, because that's gonna be even if you can handle it, the next day is not gonna be good for you. It's gonna go all bad for you.
Yeah, what was this? The fire beef jerky. What would you rate it?
It was good. I liked it. It's actually one of my favorites.
Got a little
I
hot.
thought I said it every week, but
it's true.
But I really enjoyed that one. Yeah, I really did. I liked it. I liked it because when you go to those higher numbers, like I said, I'm always worried about where's the flavor going to be. But yeah, it was still really, really good. I'm here for it.
It was good. Got a lot of flavor. A little hot, but coming off of the maple bacon.
Yeah, well, that's a cheat code. like bacon jerky, that's a cheat code. Like that's not right.
That's like being able to have what's it? 04 Vic.
Yeah.
From the Falcons and Madden on any team you want.
Speaking of 04 Vic, did you see the video game conversation last week on Twitter? There was a video game conversation about the greatest.
I do, but remind me. I don't really remember.
It was basically the greatest video game characters and athletes of all time.
Okay. And
like people kind of debating kind of where they rank, and like it was a discussion of Vic and Bo Jackson and.
Oh, we'll get into that.
Yeah.
We're in a second. We got to get to our guy on the line.
Yeah.
So I want to get to that on the other side because I have a lot of opinions on that.
Yeah, and like I wanted to ask you too. My big question I have for you, because we all had the code of friends where it was like you played video games with friends and it was like, okay, you're not allowed to use this team. So I wanted to know what were those teams for you, because we're slightly different generations. So I know what was the team that you were not allowed to use, and I'll give you some of mine I wasn't allowed to use, and then we'll do the debate of the video game characters.
I'll also just tease this. Mm-hmm. I will argue that 04 Vic in Madden is not the best version of him in that game.
In the history of
Madden
franchise? Okay.
In the history of Madden, the 04 Vic is often who it is credited to as the best.
I think I'm not going to ruin it, but I think I know where you're going to go.
I'll argue that it is not the best.
I think I know where you're going to go with this.
Okay.
So we got him?
We got him.
J. Cole, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
J. Cole coming to us, brought to you by Beef Jerky Outlet. We just had some fire jerky, man. It was actually pretty good. It was solid heat. Solid heat.
No. I'll shoot you the address. Just drop some off in the front door because I don't go outside anymore.
We got you, bro.
There's people out there, man.
I know. They're making bad decisions. So we got to have a conversation. Because
I saw this on Twitter yesterday.
Yeah, tell Justin to go get a cup of coffee while I educate you on wrestling.
Okay. So
I love it.
So this all started where it was someone posed a question. I forget who it was. Doesn't matter. But someone posed a question of
Yeah, I feel bad. Credit, just so you know, at the start of this bit, credit to the person who put the question up.
Yeah.
And I don't remember who it was. I honestly
Yeah,
don't.
I don't
Sorry,
remember.
man, whoever that was.
So
I'll look it up real
it
quick.
was who was the better wrestler, The Rock versus Roman Reigns, and it's interesting for me. It's interesting because like on the surface, like automatically people are gonna say Rock right away because of like listen, you talk about the three biggest draws in the history of wrestling. It's in my opinion, it's Rock, Stone Cold, and Hogan. So his draw power, his charisma, his undeniable talent, and everything he's done beyond wrestling, it kind of all get put in a blender. And listen, I will say for me, to give you a little background myself, my golden era of wrestling was like 95 to 2000. So like I'm a huge Attitude Era guy. Like I was WCW at the time, ECW. I've been a Swanson and Rittner several times. Saw a lot of shows down there. I actually wrestled indies a little bit too back in the early 2000s. I say all that to say this.
Oh, Justin didn't say he was bringing the shooter in. That's not cool. Let me dial in Danny Cage real quick from the Monster Factory, so this way we turn this.
So here's the deal with me. I break this down a little differently than the average person does because when I look at The Rock is a guy that his, like I said, all of those things I listed about him are undeniable. You can't deny that. But when you go and we talk about in the ring, bell to bell, I think it's a much closer debate than people would think. Because when I look at The Rock bell to bell, while he was entertaining, while he is entertaining, bell to bell, he was okay. He was above average, but he wasn't a guy that Roman Reigns is a different type of guy where Roman Reigns makes things look a little like he's able to have those matches that make you question things a little bit. Make you question what is it, shooters or work. You know what I mean? Like he can make you question a little bit with his intensity that The Rock could never do that. Also,
well, The Rock would sell more comically.
Yes.
And I think Reigns, not to interrupt you, but I wanted to make this point anyway, so this is a good point to do it. The Rock, when it comes to selling, if you look at the criteria of the two of them, like 5-point criteria, 10-point criteria, whatever, and you go to selling, right, which obviously has to be part of it somewhere, Reigns sells more realistically.
Yes.
The Rock would do these comic, I've been stunned, and, he would practically launch himself over the top, which would pop the crowd, but really that's almost more Warner Brothers.
Well,
that's almost more like Bugs Bunny.
Right. His character is, like, I say this with all due respect, like, he built a great character out of kind of a cheesy persona. Like, The Rock is very, like, if you look at a lot of his stuff, like the one of the biggest moments in the turning point in Rock's career in '98, you go to the Jennifer Flowers interview, right? And, like, the banter they had back and forth. And, like, The Rock is he was a cool, cheesy character, if that makes any sense. Like, so, like, the way you're describing him selling in the ring, that makes sense. Now, I will say this. His run when he came back from, I guess, 11 to 14, I feel like he got exposed a little bit. Even not just in the ring so much on the mic. I thought I'm from the school that actually thought in those face-to-face promos that he did with Cena, I think Cena won a lot of those. So my perception of him kind of changed a little bit. And I think, I take that to Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns right now, I think we're seeing the best version of Roman Reigns. And like,
oh, I agree. This is absolutely the best version of Reigns. No doubt.
Yeah. And like the last 6 months of Roman Reigns has been like must-see TV for me personally, because this is kind of why I've always wanted his character to kind of go in this direction. This make the most sense for me. And like, he's come a long way in his mic skills. It was something he needed to work on and develop. But like, still, he can't touch The Rock. We can say that. But I think in the ring, though, I think it's a closer conversation.
Yeah,
I think it's a closer conversation.
I would agree. I'd even go as far to say in the beginning, in the ring, they had a similar skill set in that neither was a wrestler from the jump. Both of these guys were football players, right?
Yes.
Which is weird because you'd think coming from the Samoan dynasty, and I really kind of like that phrase for it because it's accurate.
Right.
I mean, when I was a kid, I drove up to Allentown and watched the tapings that they did over there, and that street was covered with Samoans that were family members and friends and relatives, and they created an entire sub-community of pro wrestling in Allentown, PA, back in like the 70s and 80s, and you just didn't see that.
Yeah.
I mean, that wasn't common, especially for Pennsylvania. Let's be honest. I don't even know if that's the way Pennsylvania is now.
Right.
Quite honestly.
Right.
But these guys use their athleticism from football to adapt to the more professional style. They used to call it catch as catch can. I don't like to call it that anymore because people confuse it with catch wrestling, which is like a legitimate discipline. But there's a pro wrestling style. It's a lot of brawling. It's a lot of kicks and punches. It's a lot of flat backing. And I think coming from the Samoan camp, they each had those fundamentals down really well. Now, when you look at the time of Roman Reigns, the Samoans themselves, Afa and Sika, are better coaches.
Yeah.
Because, you know what I mean? When they started, The Rock talked about in a couple books and interviews, he talked about he never really had, like, quote unquote, the coach. His father taught him a lot of stuff, of course. His uncles or whatever taught him a lot of stuff, but he never kind of had that, to use an AEW reference, never had that Arn Anderson.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, okay, let's get up in the morning. This is how we're going to game plan.
Right.
He always had to wing it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that Reigns has the benefit of better development. He has FCW. You know what I mean? The Rock, he talked about this in his biography, and I realized the biography was primarily work, but I think some things were legitimate and could be verified. He was working in territories under guys like Jim Cornette, where, let's be honest, Cornette was there to make money and sell tickets. Cornette wasn't there to put on, Japanese levels of strong style or luchador matches. He was there to get you in the door and get your money and get you out of there before he got billed after midnight. And there's, I guess back in the day, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's almost a little bit like comparing apples and oranges, or a more accurate description. What if you tried to compare a VHS with TiVo as a recording device, right? There's a lot of romanticism with your VHS. It's attached to Blockbuster, and whoops, you found somebody's naughty VHS or whatever. But TiVo or, any kind of streaming recorder, you've sort of got, they're almost completely different things. One benefits from the other.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think after we had that conversation, I thought to myself, yeah, everybody's knee-jerk reaction is The Rock, right?
Yeah.
I personally, when I rate wrestlers, I do it on the Bruno Sammartino scale, which is something I created for a wrestling chat room way back when. And it's how over you are, it's your drawing power, it's how much money you earn, and of course it's how you are in the ring and how you are on the mic, right? Bruno tops out in 4 or 5 of those. If you ever heard a Bruno Sammartino interview, you've heard all the Bruno Sammartino interviews.
Right.
The other things in the ring, the drawing the money, I mean, you look at the TV ratings that Sammartino had. Now, realize it's a different era. But so to me, those are the things, and Vince McMahon has sort of backed this up in interviews, those are the things that in his mind make a professional wrestler. Like, he was intrigued by having Kurt Angle an Olympian. He wanted Kurt Angle because he was an Olympian, not because he was an Olympic wrestler.
Right.
You know what I mean? The actual, as we call it wrestling, the actual wrestling part of it is so small. I mean, you've been to the bingo hall.
Yeah.
Taz would put on these judo clinics.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
And the fans would mark out when Sandman came down, drank a 6-pack, blew through a carton of smokes, got in the ring.
I was there. Yeah, listen.
Match, and then left.
I was there the night that Sandman, when he went. Remember that brief period he went to WCW, and he came back.
Yeah.
I have never heard anything that loud in my life. Like that. That was.
I see that.
that was absolute. Like Sandman's entrance is, it's. I don't want to be sacrilegious, but it's like church. It's almost a religious experience.
It really is. No, you're 100% right.
It is one of the most insane things I've ever been a part of in my life.
I was at the Hammerstein Ballroom, and I can't remember the event off the top of my head. And the Sandman, the music hits. And this place, put it in context for people who might not know, the ballroom is an upper and lower level. It's not like the bingo hall where it's a bunch of us sitting on folding chairs.
Right.
He comes out from the upper level, loops the upper level, music is playing the entire time, makes his way down. He probably drank more than 6 beers. People were handing that guy beers.
Yeah.
Grown men had tears in their eyes.
Yeah.
You know, so when people say I'm looking for the Sting pop or I'm looking for the rock pop, let me be clear. Sandman's pop was up there with Austin's and, you know, I mean, for people from that era, they know the glass broke and people lost their minds.
Right.
Right?
The Austin pop was different. Absolutely.
The Austin pop was, and they timed it really well.
Yeah.
People would be pushing and shoving and this and that and carrying on, and hold on a minute, the glass would break. And
even the anticipation
the
of like start. When someone was in the ring waiting for him, they would always have that extra second to make you wait for it, so then to get the maximum reaction.
I remember Triple H saying something about "Where are you, Austin?" or whatever, and it was like a Monday Night Raw. It was no big deal. But he turns around to say, "Yeah, he's not coming," to Shawn Michaels,
right?
And has literally the timing was this good as he opens his mouth, the glass breaks.
Yeah.
And the best part of this is not Triple H or Austin, but it's Michaels' face sell. Michaels is like people love him, people hate him. Michaels' face sell
That's
at
my
that
goat.
moment alone should put him in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
You look at Michaels and he's just like, the look of, oh, you're about to get your ass kicked was like, if you didn't even speak English, you came from the other part of the country, planet, you would know what was going to happen. That's how expressive that face sell was. Like, oh, he stepped in it now. Yeah. The glass breaking is bad. I don't care if you don't speak English or not.
Yeah, I have been a Shawn Michaels stan since 1992.
Like you know, one of the things is it's hard for people. Like, it's hard for me to relate to people that bash Michaels, right?
Yeah.
I get it. Maybe the screw job wasn't the most manly thing to do or whatever. And I don't even know. Keep in mind, we're talking about pro wrestling.
Right.
This is like one generation removed from, like, carny tent fights.
Right.
So, you know, please stop telling me that he was supposed to have, you know what I mean? This isn't, you know what I mean? People get on their high horse for weird things.
Right.
Right. And I can maybe understand the Toronto crowd being a little ticked off. I could maybe even understand Canadians being a little ticked off because, you know, Hart lived his gimmick.
Yeah.
That's what he did.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't, you know, like Shawn Michaels would take off the Lycra pants, put on jeans, be Mike Hickenbottom, get in his truck, and drive to his farm.
Yeah, his gimmick.
Bret Hart was Bret Hart all the time.
Shawn Michaels' gimmick is the polar 180 opposite of who he is in real life. Like he is a Texas Southern
a farmer.
Yeah, boy. Yeah. Like even before the Christianity, like he was a farmer, Texan. Like that's who he was. He was not the Heartbreak Kid. That just goes to show you how great.
You know who said that in an interview?
Was.
Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Because Michaels trained Daniel Bryan, or for people who need to know Bryan Danielson, and he said that.
Yeah.
He starts training with Shawn Michaels, and his jaw hits the floor because he comes out in jeans. You know, and like a torn shirt and a cowboy hat. And he's like, all right, let's see what you got.
Right.
And that's not what he expected at all.
Right. So real quick, we got to move on because Justin's sitting here confused.
I thought we sent him out for coffee. Get breakfast sandwiches while you're out getting that coffee.
I mean, I could literally do this all day. So I got to rein it in. But one thing I do want to say, I think we both see where this is heading with Reigns and The Rock. I can see them in the ring in like maybe next year or the year after. That's going to be money.
There were rumors that was supposed to happen before COVID, that Reigns was supposed to have his Samoan Dynasty run.
Yeah.
And basically talk about he was the greatest of all time, and probably leading up to Mania, you were going to have The Rock step out saying, "What did you say to me?"
Right. Yeah. It needs, at this point, it needs to happen.
Well, I think so, and I think at that point, honestly, I think it's on The Rock more than anything else. I don't want to spoiler alert this for people. But The Rock's in his 40s. I think it's on him to kind of put Reigns over there.
Oh,
Make it a good
absolutely.
show.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think it's on Reigns. I know I see people on wrestling Twitter, which is essentially like the unflushed toilet of social media. But wrestling Twitter has talked about, The Rock should come back and have one more run and win one more. Hold on a second. All sitcom jokes aside, The Rock is closer to running for president than he is running in pro wrestling.
Right. And there's
he
only,
really is. I mean,
there's only 24 hours in a day. The man does so much already.
Yeah.
Like, he just doesn't have time to do that. But I would be okay if they wanted to do like a trilogy and have Reigns win the trilogy.
Oh, that would be fine too.
Kind of like almost like what they did with Cena. They only got 2 matches out of the Cena Rock thing, but if they did a trilogy, if they did like a WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble trilogy, I would be okay with that.
Reigns
has ultimately be
SmackDown,
victorious.
and I want to make sure that gets out there to anyone that listens to
1,000%.
SmackDown was like the C show.
Yeah.
Depending on which aspect of wrestling you liked, either Raw or NXT was your top show, and the other was the second show. And then you had a huge gap, and way down in the toilet was SmackDown.
Yeah.
People forget what SmackDown was like before his heel turn.
Yes.
It was a disaster. Every week it was, Seth Rollins or somebody coming out trying.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't connecting with the fans. The ratings were dropping. Now you look at SmackDown, and you can't wait for it. It's Paul Heyman. It's I was not sold on the Jey Uso thing, and now I'm 100%.
I was going to bring that up. He saved Jey Uso because Jey Uso, his brother's kind of no man's land, so he's made him relevant. Main Event Uso has been huge for that gimmick, and the way they did it, that match series they had, everything was great. But we're going to move on. I'm sure we'll get back into wrestling, I'm sure, at some point, because now I got your ear on it. I don't think I'll be able to let it go. But
I'm sorry about that, man. For people who tuned in to hear an entertaining show, I apologize.
So you got food felony for us this week?
I actually do, and it's sort of a minor one, and it's also sort of a quick one because we took up a lot of time with wrestling. I just want to let people know this has been going on for a while, but it's really hitting heavy now. Your pound of coffee that you're buying in the store isn't close to a pound. It's 12 ounces, and in some cases it's 10 ounces.
That's definitely not close to a pound.
What they're doing is they're leaving the price the same, and they're conning you into thinking they've held the price. Well, they haven't. So I would tell people, more than anything else, I haven't seen anything that was super egregious this year. There's always the background food felonies, right? People doing horrendous stuff with, I made popcorn and Whoppers quesadillas. Stop that, man. That's all terrible. But this thing in particular I see where it started as a joke with the Subway footlong is 10 inches, right? Everybody's joking around. It's winter, it's shrinkage, blah, blah, blah. And that's fine. I don't care about that. But I'm talking about these big vendors where you're doing your supermarket shopping from. These people are making money hand over fist. And people, as of the recording of this pod, nobody has their stimulus that I know of. Nobody's gotten their checks, their latest round of checks. People need their money. And when people are paying more for less, that's not cool. I know maybe this is a little bit more of a serious food felony, but I think on a certain level, on a moral level, you're kind of stealing from people.
Absolutely.
When someone buys a half a gallon of ice cream and it turns out it's a quart and a half,
it's no good.
It's all becomes the old Latin phrase caveat emptor. You have to check every single thing. Your pint of ice cream in some cases isn't a pint anymore. That's not okay.
No, not at all.
I talked about this on a panel maybe a month and a half back with NJ.com's food review. And I said to them, it's getting worse and worse. Everything is 14 ounces. Somebody in the studio looked and said, I usually get a Wawa 16-ounce coffee. I didn't feel like doing the U-turn, so I stopped at Dunkin' Donuts. Their medium coffee, which almost everybody has, is 16 ounces, including even Starbucks. For some reason, Dunkin' Donuts is 14 ounces.
Wow.
Really? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I said, I don't want to drag the show down or anything like that, but I just want to let people know, look, man, I understand you got a lot going on. There's the pandemic, there's politics, everybody's screaming and yelling, somebody, worrying about this and that. But it's your money, and you're not getting any more of it anytime soon. I mean, to just get these tiny little stimulus checks out, it's almost like putting a man on Mars is easier than getting these people to give you some money to help you out. You've got to make sure every dollar is stretched.
Right, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And I think, like, for example, the sponsor of the show, I understand that they're putting out a good quality product at a fair price. They should be whole hog supported. When you guys kind of run into these stores, and I understand Walmart, whatever, it's easy to buy stuff online. Federal government requires these people to put their unit price out there. Just check it. I know it's a couple extra seconds. I know it's math, and everybody hates math. I got it. But if you don't want these people picking your pocket, maybe think about it a little bit. Because I guarantee you right now, if you went in and bought a fifth of scotch and it turned out to be a seventh of scotch, you'd be furious. Because I know how many shots I can pour from the bottle, right?
Yeah.
If I'm on empty and I'm still standing up, something's wrong. So,
fair point.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks.
I mean, the thing is that I don't drink coffee.
But it's the principle.
Oh, I stand behind the principle.
It's the principalities.
That's principalities. I stand behind it.
Yeah, I mean, it is to a certain extent. It's just, they can just say to you, they know people expect certain things, right?
Right.
If you're a certain generation, you bought a gallon of milk. You didn't buy 1.2 something liters, whatever the metric system is, whatever.
Right.
Soda. Same thing, man. You were used to a certain amount, and then they kind of hold the price, but they give you less.
Right.
They change the label, they change the shape of the bottle or packaging, because it's easier than just giving you more of what you're paying for.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you talk about their numbers, U.S. Food or, even ShopRite. ShopRite has these massive, and I'm not hammering them specifically, but in this part of the country, they have massive, vendors and distributorships. When you add up that few cents here and there, that's hundreds of thousands of dollars in their pockets every month. That's you wondering, why am I out of coffee again? Or, why, where's the rest of my milk?
This report is very Dave Stratweiser of you. We're gonna send you undercover to go in these places and get some answers. Might be the next step.
Well, I feel bad. Your listeners are going to be like, wait a minute, it was two guys talking wrestling, and now this guy telling me I'm getting robbed. F this pod. So I want to apologize to everyone in advance.
All right, J. Cole, tell them where to find you.
You can find me on Twitter at J_, my last name Cole, Cohl. You can find me on Instagram at J. Cole, and you can find me on Facebook at J. Cole.
We like it. Well, we will talk to you next week.
And you'll find me here on this podcast next week, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Depending on how the numbers are. I might have tanked it this week.
We'll talk to you next week, buddy.
Take care, bud. Talk to you soon. Thanks, guys.
No problem.
No problem. Talk to you.
J. Cole, entertaining as usual.
He's going to go beef with people on Twitter now about burnt pizza.
Yeah, that was a sight. I didn't even know what to even make of that. Like I looked at the pizza. I was like, I think I literally said out loud, I don't even know what to make of this. What am I looking at here?
Why is
it so red and black at the same time?
It's a lot of black.
It looked like
lot of burnt. Lot of burnt.
It looked like a gang member, like blood.
We're going to break.
We're gonna take a break. When we come back,
we're going to break.
When we come back, we're gonna get into video game characters. And Justin's going to make an argument about 04 Vic. Brad Memory Morning, Marcus Bradham, Justin Emmer, right back. Hi, I'd like to talk to you guys today about my friends at Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream. USA Today selected Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream as the best ice cream parlor in Pennsylvania. Uncle Mike's is a family-owned and dedicated to the production of premium quality and gourmet ice cream and sorbet, made fresh daily on the premises using the highest quality ingredients available. Uncle Mike's features over 30 unique delicious flavors offered in scoops, sundaes, shakes, and special order ice cream cakes and pies. Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream is located at 537 York Road in Warminster and is open all year round. Visit Uncle Mike's and let their friendly staff serve you happiness one scoop at a time.
Hey everybody, I want to tell you about Beef Jerky Outlet. 110 Lincoln Highway in Langhorne, right at the corner of Business Route 1 and Oxford Valley Road. Check them out online at beefjerkyoutlet.com/Langhorne. Use promo code Bremy for 10% off your orders. You can check out, they have all sorts of them. Everything you could think of beef jerky, they have. They have a ton of other stuff too. Spices, barbecue sauces, peanuts, all different kind of things. My personal favorite, the honey barbecue turkey jerky. Head up there. Sharon and Michael will take great care of you. Again, use promo code BREMY for 10% off your order at beefjerkyoutlet.com/Langhorn.
Hi, I'd like to talk to you guys about my friends at Amy's Pizza. Amy has a plethora of pizzas for your munching pleasure, especially pizzas such as Hawaiian, margarita, and taco. Taco actually being my personal favorite. And also plenty more. If it's sandwiches you desire, they've got those too. Cheesesteaks, burgers, hoagies, even gyros. Amy's offers pickup and takeout options. Also, they're available on Grubhub. Amy's located at 332 York Road in the heart of Hatboro. You can call them today at 215-957-1000. Again, that's 215-957-1000. Welcome back. Brad Miami Morning. Marques, Brad, I'm Justin Emery. Yo, I just remembered something. Just literally just look at my paper. Before we get into the video game discussion, I need to hit the music. I got myself a Bremy.
Oh, okay. No,
We got a Bremy, baby.
This usually happens on Thursdays, but we
Emergency Bremy.
emergency Bremy.
It's an emergency Bremy.
I was caught off guard. All right, here we go.
So listen, I want to give a Bremy, and I don't know her name, but that's okay. As the most informed person of the wine and spirits,
Okay.
she educated me on something that was amazing. So I have to give her a Bremy for this.
Okay.
So went to the wine and spirits on Saturday, pick up a couple bottles, and I sometimes get a little urge for something a little stronger. So I sometimes like to go to the 100 proof, the 100 proof vodka, just to get that kick a little faster. You know what I'm saying? Get that gasoline
I
in.
feel you. My question is, what does that say if you prefer that way?
It says you're a great person.
There you
That's what
go.
it says. So
I don't understand. Like, if you have the choice between something that you're gonna drink 100 proof or regular, it's like the same.
It's 100 proof.
Like Captain Morgan.
Yeah.
You get that in 100 proof or regular. Why would you not get it in 100 proof?
I'm with you. So I'm looking for the 100 proof. I'm not finding much of anything. So I asked for a little assistance. The only ones I saw 100 proof were smaller bottles. And I was like, and she was like, yeah, we only have these ones over here in the smaller bottles. I was like, you know what? I'll just take 2 of those. That equals 1 handle. We're good. Go to the counter, and she was like, yeah. She's like, like 100 proof has almost been discontinued. Like, they're still making them, but they don't do it a lot. And I was like, really? And she's like, but during the pandemic, there was a resurge in 100 proof bottles. Everyone started buying 100 proofs. So in my head, I'm thinking, well, yeah, because people are drinking. No. Did you know that people were using 100 proof bottles to make hand sanitizer?
Interesting.
Yeah, I was like, whoa. Whoa. So this is why this young lady's getting a Bremy, because I learned something at the Wine and Spirits.
I love it. Learn something new every day.
Learn something new every day. I wish I got her name.
Now we have a bigger issue at large now we have to address. They're discontinuing 100 proof?
It's not discontinued. It's just not the reason, because if you go to a vodka shelf, you don't see a lot of them. It used to be you saw them everywhere. And like they had the one I was going to get with the Smirnoff one, but because Smirnoff usually has
what?
Yeah, Smirnoff usually has the most 100 proof selections. They even sometimes have flavored 100 proof selections. So I was hoping to get lucky there, but that was sold out. So then Amsterdam just started making 100 proof. But they do it in the small bottles, not the handles. So then I got to get 2 bottles, which is not that big of a deal. So I was like, oh, whatever, this is fine. But that was interesting. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, now what she said, I was like, oh, yeah, that I could see people doing that. It makes sense. But, like, immediately I was like, oh, yeah, because it's a pandemic. People are just drinking more.
Yeah.
How about that?
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm just going to stick to my Don.
The who?
The Don
Who? I like
Who.
it. I like it. So let's just move on along to video game characters.
Yeah.
Debate broke out last week about, because every generation has their own video games they played, and so forth and so forth. And you have the characters that you loved, especially when it comes to sports games. Like, I started really playing sports games probably like when I was like 13 or so. Like,
yeah.
Before that, I was more like the Marios, the Zeldas.
Yeah.
Sports really got like the first Madden. I'm not sure when it was, but I know my first Madden, I got my hands on Madden 93. That was my first Madden that I was familiar with, and I loved that game so much. Like that. Like my favorite sports games of all time are probably NHL '94.
Yeah.
And NHL '94 is a GOAT to me. Like that's a game that they actually. I don't know if you know this, but on Xbox they resurrected it with today's players. So it's the same rules, same graphics of NHL '94, but with today's players. Which I played it for like 3 straight days and was just smiling all the way because it just reminded me to go back to my childhood. Everyone wants to go back to their childhood a little bit. So we have those characters that we all kind of like fell in love with. And there was debates about the greatest video game characters of all time and who were on that list. Now, I'm sure some of you are going to know and recognize some of these names. Some of these names that, that if you haven't played the game, you've heard about, these characters, right? So, right off the bat, you got to go 04 Vic. And there's no particular order. 04 Vic. Reggie Bush. This was the interesting one. Reggie Bush from the collegiate 2006. NCAA 2006.
05, I think.
05 got a lot of praise.
He was on the 06 Super Bowl team with the Saints.
Yeah.
So it was 05.
Bo Jackson from Techno Bowl was.
Yeah.
That's something. Now Techno Bowl for me, I've played Techno Bowl before, and I remember playing it, but it's not something like I was just like hitting buttons. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have any strategy.
Yeah.
I always got like when I played with my cousins, I had older cousins, I would get beat like 53-3.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was doing. But like for me, like Bo Jackson isn't on my list because I was a little much out of that generation. So like I go a little bit older. Like for instance, for me, I'll tell you one of my GOATs. A team I used to use, NHL '94. I used the Boston Bruins. Adam Oates, Boston Bruins was different. Like that was my team. That was my go-to team with Boston. So who are some of yours?
So my introduction to sports games was Wayne Gretzky hockey.
Okay.
I think it was 95 on Super Nintendo.
Okay.
That was the thing about that game is I believe it was 3-on-3. No, it was 5-on-5. But they allowed you to play the goalie as a whatever.
You do whatever with goalie.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're talking way before like all the strict guidelines that the video games had to have with all that.
Yeah.
Then the hockey game expanded. Did you play NHL Hits?
I remember NHL Hits.
Okay.
I do. I do remember
3-on-3 hockey with a lot of physicality.
Yes.
Played that a lot. But I had Brett Favre Quarterback Club 98.
I remember that game.
Remember that game?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was my introduction to football games.
Okay.
Then it was Madden. So I've have every Madden from what is it? Eddie George on the cover, and I believe it was 03 through to the current Madden, with the exception of whatever the Madden was that had, I believe, Richard Sherman on the cover.
Okay, so you're talking
15.
like 15.
Yeah, I never had that one.
Okay.
Because I was upgrading to the new generation of system, and I didn't want to get it for the old system.
I gotcha.
So that was the one. But from 03 to today, I have every Madden, every single one of them, like without that exception. The best football game ever made was ESPN 2K5 football with T.O. on the cover.
Didn't have that one.
That game, it was the only one they've made of that, I believe. Game was just different. It was Madden at the time looked almost cartoony, like South Park-like. Not because there's different kinds of cartoons. Like when you look at a cartoon, South Park doesn't look like Family Guy.
Right.
So Madden looked almost cartoony. The 2K Madden football game was what Madden looks like now. Back then. And the thing that was crazy is it was coming off the Eagles Super Bowl season, so the Eagles were a much better team. Like, for example, Madden rated Michael Lewis like a 77. In 2K that same year, Michael Lewis was a 92.
Yeah, he was really good for that team.
So that game is still talked about today. That with Tio on the cover. Now, as far as those, so those were the old. Really, it's now a couple of other staple games. The baseball 2K with Tim Lincecum on the cover. I want to say 2K9 maybe.
Okay.
Legendary baseball game.
One we didn't bring up, NBA Jam.
NBA Jam.
You got to put NBA Jam.
NBA Jam.
Gary Payton, Sean Kemp.
NBA 2K12. That individual one was a staple.
When things started to change.
That was the one. I want to say it was the 20th anniversary of the Dream Team. So I believe Jordan was on the cover for that.
Okay.
That spun completely, and I haven't played the new one, but apparently 2K21, the one out right now, is another one.
Change.
Now I have yet to play that one.
Yeah, I still have 20. I haven't gotten to 21.
Yeah, I haven't gotten 21, but apparently, from what I hear though, that's a benchmark. As far as the greatest players go, Vic 04 was a problem because he had 99 speed, and the way that the game was played back then, left-handed quarterback, you could roll out to the right side, throw with him, and it would be a perfect dead-on pass. The way that Madden now works is that doesn't happen. Like they've, technology advancing and everything.
Right.
It's extremely realistic. So Vic 04 in the game right now would basically be like playing with Lamar Jackson. Lamar is fast.
Right.
It's very hard to throw the ball with him sometimes.
Yeah.
Like when I like to use the Ravens online when I play this Madden a lot, because I like the fact of having Lamar. If the whole play goes down the drain, at the end of the day, my quarterback still has 96 speed.
Right.
I can figure something out with that.
Right.
But when you're playing against a guy who is willing to sit back and not let you do that, I'll let you run for 4 or 5 yards every play if you want.
Right.
You're going to eventually have to chuck the ball.
Right.
That's when you run into issue. And I can see that with the 04 Vic being in today's Madden.
Right.
I will go as far as say I don't think that's the best version of Vic in the game. I will go as to say the Vic with Andy Reid.
That's where I thought you were going.
Is the best
2010
one.
Vic.
Yes.
Well, it was the best version of him as a quarterback
Now,
also.
His athletic stats weren't as high. As I said, in 04, I believe his speed was like 98, 99,
right.
with like 99 acceleration, agility, all that.
Right.
But his passing was in the low to mid-80s. His arm power was 99, rightfully so, because he had a cannon.
Yeah.
But all the other things weren't that great.
Line. Yeah.
And I want to say he was maybe like a 96 overall, but it's all based off of pure
off the speed.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
His player in 2010, I believe he was a 93, 91 speed, but all of his passing were in the low 90s, but still have high throw power.
Right.
So you got all the other things that made him, and
more balanced.
Even when you're playing Madden, a 91 quarterback speed, like you don't need the 96 like Lamar, or a 90, a 99 like he was, or like a 93 like Kyler.
Right.
If you can, like Jalen Hurts, if in Madden right now, my favorite quarterback to use is Jalen Hurts, and not just because he's the Eagles quarterback. He has an 87 speed, and he has better passing attributes than Lamar.
Right.
I don't need 96 at quarterback. I don't need 99.
Right.
88. There's the difference between like 87 and 93 as far as speed at the quarterback position is so minute that it's irrelevant. So I'm going 2010 Vic is my guy. And then when you factor in that whole team, Deshaun, Macklin, Shady, elite O-line, stat-stuffing defense.
Yeah, that's it.
That was a problem.
Well, that team should have gone to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
They that it all comes back to that Tuesday night
Yep, against the
Vikings that killed them because they would have got a bye.
Yes.
And they wouldn't run into that Green Bay Packers team at that time. And they almost beat that team. I mean, they almost beat the Packers at home that day, and that's the year the Packers go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And the Eagles actually gave them the most competition. And I mean, again, they should have beat that team. But that was a really good. That was the last really good Andy Reid team.
Yeah.
That was it. That was the finale.
Yeah. A couple other guys right now. Pat Mahomes is really annoying to play against.
Yeah, sure.
Tyreek Hill is extremely annoying to play against.
Yeah.
My all-time least favorite person to play against ever, though, is Tom Brady. I hate playing against Tom Brady in Madden because he just will. If you have a guy who will just sit back there and is willing to take, like when I play, I'm trying to gash you for like 15, 20 yards every play.
Yeah.
I'm trying to force my will on you.
Right.
If you have a guy who's willing to just go 6 yards every play, he can go 26 for 31, and you're sitting there the whole time like, I'm tired of this game. I don't want to play anymore.
That's Brady. I mean, because
he is an extremely annoying player to play against.
I can imagine it'd be like that watching him in real life too, playing against him.
Megatron that one year was also, you just kind of throw a fade route towards the end zone. It doesn't matter if you throw triple coverage at him. He's coming around with a touchdown.
I want to shout out one game that we haven't talked about.
Aaron Rodgers, 2011, I believe.
That's Super Bowl.
That was
different
because he had Peyton Manning passing attributes with 86 speed.
Yeah.
So like Aaron Rodgers, you could run for 20 yards down the sideline and then rip a 50-yard bomb.
Right.
Extremely annoying.
Yeah, I want to shout out a game that we haven't talked about yet. So you mentioned NBA 2K because 2K gets a lot of love, but I don't think 2K happens without NBA Live. Like NBA Live was the game in like late 90s, early 2000s. I don't know what happened because NBA Live was the first game I ever played where they actually, and this sounds so minor now, but they actually like designed the arena. Like I can close my eyes now and picture playing. This is when like the Orlando Magic were really good with the Penny Shack Orlando Magic. I remember them having the design of the arena and having the logos on the ground and like they had the 360 rotations of the screen and like the arena looked like the arena you played in. Like there was the First Union Center at the time then. That's not the Wells Fargo now, but they had the arena. The players looked like the players. They played like the players. Like NBA Live was one of the first games to like bring the players in, hook up all the equipment, and actually have them like be a part of the game. And then 2K obviously took that and ran with it and made it something even better. But NBA Live, like NBA Live 95, 96, 97, 98, great basketball games.
A couple of the most dominant basketball guys. Someone that I got someone for you because you always have those players that are on the list and you're like, I'll give you one that you wouldn't expect. Like I said, 2K.
I got one for you after this.
Like I said, 2K12. Tyson Chandler.
Yeah, you always have these guys that like you don't understand and they're just.
So, quick story. So, Madden's the game that I like to play.
Yeah.
Like the sports game. I'll play 2K.
Yeah.
Play the show. I'm not saying I don't play them, but Madden's the game I like to play.
Yeah.
My brother's 2K guy. That's the game he likes to play.
That's me. Yeah.
Well, him and a bunch of his friends did that like online franchise. Mm-hmm. And like I said, we're talking the 2K12 game.
Yeah.
And they needed one more person. They're like, do you want to do it? Yeah, I'm probably gonna come in last. Whatever. Like, I'll do it.
Right.
I pick. Had my starting five was Ray Allen, Carmelo Anthony, Tyson Chandler. Trying to remember the guy who was married to Kim Kardashian.
Oh, Chris Humphries?
Yeah, Chris Humphries. And I can't remember who my fifth guy was.
Okay.
My other two guard. I can't remember who my other two guard was. But I went 10-0 in the regular season. And the reason was because Humphreys and Tyson Chandler both had 99 rebound.
I mean, Chandler I get because Chandler was a really good defensive player. And
He had a 99 rebound.
I don't understand how
Chris Humphreys at the 4 had a 99 rebound.
That's absurd.
So I would just make it rain with Melo and Ray Allen with 2 99s under the. Now, I'm not saying Chris Humphreys deserves to be on that, but when you have certain things like that, like, would you expect him to have a 99 rebound?
No.
When you find something like that, you put it in there.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like when you're doing a I'm sure other people have a similar way of doing this, what I'm about to explain. But like when me and my friends, we would be sitting here playing Madden, and we're like, all right, let's play Madden together. But we want to change it up a little bit. Well, why don't we each do 3 trades to pick a team? Like you would be, for example, the Eagles. I'll be the Ravens. We each get to we go back and forth. You do trade 1, I do trades 2 and 3, 4. Back however many it is, whatever. It's like when you find the guy, like, for example, for the longest time, Aaron Donald was the guy to take in that because you were getting a 97 defensive tackle making like $1.2 million.
Yeah.
Richard Sherman, a 99 corner, making like $800K.
Right.
Finding things like that. It's like when you find a stat, you're like, these guys watch the game.
Right.
These guys... Like, why does Chris Humphreys have a 99 rebound?
I have a guy like that.
Talk to me.
It's so, this is on 2K20 actually.
Okay.
So after the Last Dance, I made it my mission.
Did you find out Sabonis had 99 rebound like months before everybody else?
No. Well, this guy's gonna surprise you. It's not about rebounding. So, after the Last Dance, I made it my mission. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna franchise Chicago Bulls. I'm gonna get them a championship. I'm doing it. I'm going to take them. I'm going to rebuild them. I'm going through the draft. So I drafted Ja Morant in the first round. Okay, we had the 3rd pick. I had him in the backcourt with Zach LaVine. And, then the Bulls aren't that bad. You have Lauri Markkanen, who's underrated, and you have Wendell Carter Jr. I signed Whiteside in free agency. And Whiteside in that game is a monster because he rebounds, he blocks. Like his stat line would be like 3 points, 9 rebounds, 4 blocks.
It doesn't matter.
And that's what you need. And then I signed Seth Curry, off the bench. So I had a squad. We won a championship the first year. Going to year 2, looking to repeat, feeling good. We got off to an incredible start, lock up the 1 seed. We play the Orlando Magic in the first round, okay? On this game, Orlando has R.J. Barrett. R.J. Barrett is a prospect.
Yeah, he's nice,
he's
but
okay.
He's a nice prospect.
Barrett lit me up. He averaged like 34 the entire series to the point where like I was about to throw my controller through. Like he was making ridiculous shots. Like there were times like in the 4th quarter I have a lead, and R.J. Barrett was going like an 8-0 run by himself. And I'm like, what? When did R.J. Barrett become a second coming here? What is this? But you're right though. You have these players in games where like you're like, how did this happen?
No, I can do you one better for that though.
Okay.
Have you ever had Andy Dalton throw for 521 yards on you?
No, I have not. Okay. The Red Rifle?
You still come away with the dub.
Yeah.
But you don't want to give up 521 yards to
That's an
Andy
aggressive
Dalton.
amount of yards.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want
to do that.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. So let me ask you this. What are some teams that you would not allow your friends to play with when you were younger? Like we said, no, off limits. Can't do that.
The Aaron Rodgers Super Bowl Packers.
Okay.
Mainly because it just – if you were throwing an out route to Jordy Nelson, it was going to be a completed pass.
Yeah, it's happening.
Yeah. So that was one. The Super Patriots.
The 07 Patriots?
Yeah, the 16.
Okay.
Those got I always looked at it like if you need the best team in the game to beat me,
right?
That's fine. Rack it. Like personally, I didn't. Like I said, those were a couple off the top of my head, but a lot of times I would sit there and I'm going to choose. Well, I said okay. Now because you chose the best team in the game, I'm now going to take my aggression out on you in this game.
Right.
So you can roll out the Legion of Boom Seattle Seahawks.
Right.
It's now my personal goal to hang 50 on you.
Right. Yeah, I could think of most recently the Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Golden State Warriors. They were stop it. You can't do that. If I go back in the day, we're talking about Madden '93. That '92 Cowboys team was unfair. Like I played with them a couple times. You do a sweep to Emmitt Smith, HB they call it the HB toss. To Emmitt Smith.
Oh
you're
yeah,
going, you're going for
HB
60.
toss.
You're going. He would first of all, what would happen was the same thing. You toss to him. It'd be a linebacker here in perfect position. He would break that tackle and he's out every time. And then you had Aikman and you had Jay Novacek as tight end. So you throw the down and out, and the down and out route was the seam for the tight end. You hit that touchdown. Like literally, Cowboys were unfair then. The Joe Montana 49ers weren't right. They weren't fair.
There was one play the Eagles had in Madden, I want to say 06 maybe.
Okay.
It's because of Brian Westbrook. Brian Westbrook running this particular pattern wasn't fair.
It was a nightmare.
Okay, you had the tight end on the end of the line standing up, going right up the seam.
Yeah.
Had the running back out, then cut across the middle.
That was his route.
The combination of bootlegging with McNabb,
Yeah.
and then throwing to
That
Westbrook,
confusion, yeah, it was over.
it didn't matter who you were playing against.
That's gonna work.
It was going to work. That play, like you could run that play 6, 7. You know how you got those plays you can just run over and over and over. You could run that play, however many times you want in a row, and you're going to convert it every time.
So here's something interesting. You didn't really have to, like in the '90s when we played basketball, you didn't really have to worry about the Bulls because Jordan didn't license himself until later in the game. Like I don't know Jordan's first entry into the video game market. Like they had a 23, and they had some of the attributes, but he wasn't Jordan.
Right.
He wasn't like on NBA Live. He wasn't lending himself to them at all. So like, I don't really know that you got Jordan as Jordan until like the 2K brand. Because
You might not have.
because it was a lot of that like where it was 23.
Well,
everyone
like I
knew
said,
it was Jordan.
Like the Wayne Gretzky game was called Wayne Gretzky and the NHLPA All-Stars.
Yeah.
So there was all sorts of
Right.
legality issues. And even to this day, did you know that Bill Belichick doesn't license himself out?
I didn't know that.
Bill Belichick is
I wonder why that is.
it's because he just doesn't want to. He literally just doesn't want to. Every year, because I want to say it's $700K each coach gets for licenses it out.
Right.
That number may have changed, but that's what I feel like. That's what the
It's
number
somewhere
is.
in there. Yeah.
And he just turns it down because he just doesn't want to be involved in whatever.
That's interesting.
So he's the only coach. When you're scrolling through and you can see all the coaches, their pictures right there and all
He's
that.
Patriots coach.
It says New England coach, and it's a guy who just has a baseball cap and glasses.
It's interesting.
And it's because he does not sign the waiver provided, by the NFL or whoever provides it. He does not sign it.
It's interesting.
Yeah, he's the only one that doesn't do it.
Wow. So, I just like it's interesting with video games. Like video games to me, when we're getting to the All-Star game a little bit after the break, but like video games is almost like, especially when it comes to sports video games, it's almost like what can they do next? Like things are so advanced especially when it comes to sports games. Like how can you keep up in the ante? What are the next steps that they're going to be able to do to make it, to keep putting these out and having you buy new games?
I just want to, before we go to the break, throw out a couple more baseball guys who were problems. Both of these come from the same year.
Okay.
Ken Griffey Jr. baseball.
Junior.
I'm not even yes, but that's not where I was going yet.
Okay.
Pedro Feliz. Oh, I'm sorry, not Pedro. Pedro Martinez. Pedro Martinez.
Well, that was like the 99. That was like 99 era. Yeah.
Randy Johnson.
Yes. Yeah.
The two of those guys Ken Griffey Jr. baseball. That was the game. Ken Griffey Jr. baseball. Pedro Martinez. I remember there was one time I threw 9 pitches in the first inning and I had 3 strikeouts.
It's ridiculous. Well, now we got to enter this in the chat.
And I got a Randy Johnson story.
A real Randy Johnson?
Like the big unit, a Randy Johnson story.
The big U.
Yeah.
We're going to have to hear that. So, I got to enter this in the conversation. Did you play backyard baseball on the computer?
Yes, but that was a game.
I know it's not a real person, but
Yeah.
Pablo Sanchez.
Oh, yes. No.
Backwards hat Pablo Sanchez was a problem.
He's up there amongst
He's a
the
goat.
game with Benny the Jet Rodriguez.
Yeah.
They're up there.
Yeah, these are goats.
You don't mess with that kind of stuff.
I used to love on that team. I would build my own. So I would always draft Ichiro, my leadoff hitter, because Ichiro I was bunt and he'd be on first. He was so fast, he couldn't do anything. And he was always hitting. Then I would have Junior, Bonds. I had Rollins in the 8-hole. I didn't take Pablo because I thought it was just unfair. I left Pablo to the other people. You got Pablo.
No, Pablo
Sanchez was not right.
He was a problem.
Yeah.
He was a problem.
Yo, so we're going to take a break.
Well, let me tell the big unit story real quick.
Do you want to do another side?
I'll make it quick.
All right.
Okay. So this was when he played with the Diamondbacks.
Okay.
So the guy that I used to work with in Vegas, he born and raised in Phoenix. That's what he. And during that run, he worked for the Diamondbacks radio affiliate.
Okay.
So he got to know Randy Johnson.
Yeah.
Now, you know how sometimes not every team, their radio affiliate is a sports station.
Mm-hmm.
The Diamondbacks was a rock station that
Okay.
played Diamondbacks games.
Okay.
Well,
similar to the Eagles with YSP.
yes. Well, apparently, Randy Johnson is a huge guitarist.
Player or like
he plays guitar. He loves rock music. So, he would on off days just randomly show up at the station and hang out with the DJs and just bring his guitar and just hang out with the guys. He didn't want to be on air, but he would just hang out in the room with the guys. He's like, I spent years just messing with Randy Johnson.
Wow.
Off air in between commercial breaks. He goes, the things that he told me about Curt Schilling in the locker room.
I'm sure. Well, Curt Schilling is the ultimate. We know.
Yeah.
I mean, because that could be a whole show on Curt Schilling being a fool.
But yeah, so Randy Johnson, they're like, it's not uncommon for him if he just hears about something, he'll just show up. They're like, he used to just show up. There was some kind of semi-pro, I guess. I hesitate to use the word semi-pro for a flag football league, but you know what And Randy Johnson would just show up to the field and watch because he was mesmerized by it. And he would just sit there in the bleachers.
Just hang out.
Like,
That's
it's
awesome.
not uncommon for Randy Johnson just to be, boom.
Just hanging out somewhere.
He would call
being 6'7" somewhere.
Yeah,
and
he'd call his
around.
wife and be like, hey, I got invited to do this, so
yeah,
I'm gonna go do it. His wife would just be like,
all right,
whatever.
That's awesome.
Do you not realize you're Randy Johnson?
Yeah, you can't just wander around places.
But apparently that's what he would just be around Phoenix, just telling stories of the locker room. He was a locker room
story man.
Yeah, I hesitate to use the word snitch because you're not going to call the big unit a snitch.
No, but I mean, he was sharing with people he thought were friends. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna take a break. When we come back, we're gonna get into NBA All-Star Sunday Night and the Ben and Joe saga. Brad Raymond in the morning. Marcus Brown, Justin. Remember, right back. Hi, I'd like to talk to you guys today about my friends at Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream. USA Today selected Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream as the best ice cream parlor in Pennsylvania. Uncle Mike's is a family-owned and dedicated to the production of premium quality and gourmet ice cream and sorbet, made fresh daily on the premises using the highest quality ingredients available. Uncle Mike's features over 30 unique delicious flavors offered in scoops, sundaes, shakes, and special order ice cream cakes and pies. Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream is located at 537 York Road in Warminster and is open all year round. Visit Uncle Mike's and let their friendly staff serve you happiness one scoop at a time.
Hey, everybody. I want to tell you about Beef Jerky Outlet. 110 Lincoln Highway in Langhorne, right at the corner of Business Route 1 and Oxford Valley Road. Check them out online at beefjerkyoutlet.com/Langhorne. Use promo code Bremy for 10% off your orders. You can check out, they have all sorts of them. Everything you could think of beef jerky, they have. They have a ton of other stuff too. Spices, barbecue sauces, peanuts, all different kind of things. My personal favorite, the honey barbecue turkey jerky. Head up there. Sharon and Michael will take great care of you. Again, use promo code Bremy for 10% off your order at beefjerkyoutlet.com/Langhorne.
Hi, I'd like to talk to you guys about my friends at Amy's Pizza. Amy has a plethora of pizzas for your munching pleasure, especially pizzas such as Hawaiian, Margarita, and Taco. Taco actually being my personal favorite. And also plenty more. If it's sandwiches you desire, they've got those too. Cheesesteaks, burgers, hoagies, even gyros. Amy's offers pickup and takeout options. Also, they're available on Grubhub. Amy's located at 332 York Road in the heart of Hatboro. You can call them today at 215-957-1000. Again, that's 215-957-1000. So we're going to get an All-Star weekend, or All-Star Sunday night. A lot of controversy surrounding last night.
I saw a funny tweet from you regarding the game.
but which one?
Where you were like, did I miss the dunk contest?
Yeah. I was sitting here really because I didn't know what was happening at halftime. Yeah. I didn't get the memo.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting here and they do the skills, and they do the 3-point contest, and they're like, "All right, time to get ready for the game." I was like, "What? Did I miss something? Is this gonna be live streamed somewhere else? What's happening?"
That was funny. I read that. I was just like, "He don't know."
So. Yeah, it was a lot of controversy surrounding last night. The fact that it even happened in the first place, the idea that there wasn't supposed to be one and now there is one.
Now, I wanted to get your opinion on something.
Yeah.
How has the All-Star game, this year aside because of obvious things, how has the All-Star game grown since you played in it?
Since 69?
Yeah.
Well, the competition definitely is better.
Right.
I mean, I'm also, 4-time All-Star Game MVP. So
yeah.
I mean, I had my moment, but I definitely let the mess around these guys, and I think it would have been it'd been a lot. It'd been good.
Much bigger made for TV event now.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and it's definitely the game itself is still fun.
I watched almost none of it.
I watched the first half. I didn't watch the second half. I liked last year what they did in the fourth quarter. I thought was amazing. That was so much fun.
The untimed 24 points off the lead score. I think
something like that.
Yeah.
I think they did. They probably did that last night too.
They did.
But I just didn't. I lost interest at the halftime. But I think honestly the most entertaining thing of All-Star Saturday night, Sunday night right now is a 3-point contest. I think the 3-point contest right now is more entertaining than dunk contest.
I'm also a fan of the skills challenge.
Skill challenge.
Though I was not a fan of the participants.
Well, you had guys like Luke, like my guy Luka wasn't even taking it seriously. Like he didn't take his warm-up jacket off. Like he was just definitely going through the motions. You have guys like.
I said it on the show before. Do you remember the Derrick Rose skills competition?
When flying through there?
Yes.
Yes, because the problem is some guys.
That's when it's like that.
Yeah.
I'd rather see that.
I agree. The problem
I don't want to
is
see Sabonis and Vucevic go.
Right. Well, so the problem is some guys try to be too cool and kind of like make it look cool instead of like that's not something you can look cool. You need to bust it. Like that's like doing the suicide drills in high school. Like you can't look cool doing that stuff. You gotta get through it. And some guys don't do that. So that's a problem there. But the 3-point contest to me is the most entertaining thing. Like I enjoyed that way more than dunk contest because like it's first of all you're watching the greatest shooter of all time do his thing.
There's no more dunks to do.
Yeah, basically.
Like I heard a great.
I mean, Anthony Simons did a fun one. He had one where he did the mini ball.
Well, like Kenny
12
Smith.
feet.
Kenny Smith said it yesterday. He goes, I forget who it was that did it. He goes, yeah, that dunk would have been a 10 if Zach LaVine didn't do that in the layup line last week.
Yeah, right. Even Obi Toppin is like 7 feet tall, goes from basically the foul line in between his legs. And
do you want to know how much I know about that guy? I learned about him yesterday.
Dayton's own Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin, real name, no gimmicks.
Couldn't even tell you what team he plays for.
The Knicks.
The Knicks? Okay.
Obadiah Toppin.
Okay. Who else competed in it?
You had Anthony Simons, who got bounced.
What team does he play for?
He's from Portland.
Okay.
You had a dude from Indiana. I had no idea who it was. His last Garrett. I don't know. I have no idea. I've never seen him before. Like literally, it looked like someone threw a uniform on him and just shoved him out there. I was like, I don't even know who this person is.
Like if we're talking dunkers, like I mean, I know that none of the big stars want to do it anymore.
That's the problem. See, that's the major issue of the dunk contest. Back in the day, the stars did it. You had
don't
Dr.
forget
J.
Don't forget the legendary. Was it I think 88? Yeah.
Nick Jordan? Oh yeah. Oh, I will never forget that. But yeah, you had Neek, you had Jordan, you had Dr. J at his prime.
Kobe did it.
Kobe did it. It's a rite of passage. And the fact that LeBron James never did it is an issue.
Yeah.
Like he should have done it at some point.
You know who did compete?
Williamson in there.
Yeah, you know who did compete, and the dunk contest was built for guys like Blake Griffin.
Yeah, well, that year that was fun.
He did it a couple times, didn't
Jumped
he?
over the car. I only believe he did it once.
Oh, he only did it. Well,
yeah,
he
did.
He
jumped over the car.
Yeah, but those are the kind of guys like Zion.
Mm-hmm.
Dunk contests are made for guys like that.
When Vince Carter's dunk contest.
Yeah, I don't need to like. I already know Embiid can dunk. I don't want to see Embiid doing dunk contests. Like
right.
He's 7 feet tall. I know he can dunk.
Ben Simmons would be interesting.
Yeah, he would. But
Ben Simmons would be interesting. I would like to see Ben Simmons in there. But like you want it. But the thing is, you need names. Like some of these dunks last night were cool, but the fact that the names weren't provocative, it didn't have the same cachet. Like even when Dwight Howard did it,
yeah,
like it was fun. It was like and maybe guys were less inclined to do it this year because of the way it was being done. And maybe next year you'll get the Zion Williamsons. Maybe Zach LaVine comes back. I would love to see a Zach LaVine Aaron Gordon rematch. Let's run that back.
There's a big difference between dunk contest dunkers and in-game dunkers.
Right.
Like if we're talking in-game dunkers, I need Ben Simmons in there.
Yeah.
I need Julius Randle in there.
Right.
I need guys that are going to throw it down.
Yeah, it was definitely the most boring part to me of the whole All-Star Sunday night.
Now, I heard an interesting suggestion over the weekend about how to change the dunk contest. I want to get your thoughts on it.
Okay.
What if instead of having in-person, you're not going to see an in-person dunk contest. It's not going to happen. It's going to be a culmination of the greatest in-game dunks from the season prior to that and have that voted upon. So, like, for example, excuse me, it would be the top, I don't know, 3. How many guys are in the dunk contest usually? 3, 5?
3 or 4.
3, 4. So it's the best 3 or 4 in-game dunks from the first half of the season.
So there's no contest. You're just voting on the best dunks, and the winner of that gets the trophy.
Yes. And it's from the best in-game dunks from that season. And have the all-star players vote on it.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. I mean, I will be okay.
I mean, it takes away the actual event of the dunk contest.
Here's what should have happened.
But I don't care about that anymore.
The Zach LaVine, Aaron Gordon dunk contest from 3-4 years ago. What are you doing right now? You going back in there?
I'm going back in there.
All right.
I'm hungry.
Here
we go.
All right. The Zach LaVine, Aaron Gordon dunk contest from 3-4 years ago. That it should have been retired after that. Because after that dunk contest, what else is there to do? Like that, like you were lucky to get that. Like having that moment. Because that to me is one of my favorite of all time. Of 2 guys going back and forth. I'm from the school Aaron Gordon, Rob, but whatever. That was like you were seeing. That was the first time in years I was seeing things that I had never seen before. Like everything Aaron Gordon did with the mascot, Zach LaVine with his creativity and the things he could do. What else can we do after that? After that moment, it should have been done. But the thing is, it's such a thing that people look forward to forever. It's a hard conversation to have that, we're not doing the dunk contest anymore.
You know what I learned during that dunk contest? That Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine are actually 2 different people. The longest time I thought they were the same person.
What? All right, on that note.
I lived under a rock for a while.
I can see that.
Now, big thing regarding the All-Star Weekend is the fact that Sixers stars did not play in it.
Yeah, listen.
Now, my caring in the game plummeted when I heard those 2 weren't playing.
Right. No.
I probably wasn't.
Marcus. No. No.
I probably wasn't really going to watch much of the game anyway.
Right.
The only reason I turned it on is because I saw Twitter lighting up that Dame was doing something crazy.
Dame shot. Well, listen.
Oh, I've seen it.
And you see Steph do it in one take?
Yes.
It was stupid. Dame took 2 takes, let's be fair. He made it, which is impressive. I'm not taking that away. But Steph said, hold my beer, and did it in 1 take. And then Steph in the 3-point contest was absurd.
I didn't watch it, but I can imagine.
He missed his first 2, and Amber's like, oh, no. I'm like, just wait. I'm like, because Steph will get stupid hot out of nowhere.
Yeah, he gets a rhythm.
Like, he gets in a rhythm, and that's what he did. Like, he went through 2 racks where he did not touch the rim, and the net didn't move. It's just stupid. I always say about those 2, we'll get back to Ben and Joe in a second, but I want to make a point about those 2. Like, Seth Curry's the greatest shooter of all time. I don't disagree with that at all. However, if I was coaching and I was teaching somebody how to shoot a basketball, I would not use Steph footage.
No, not fundamental.
Klay Thompson's jump shot is beautiful.
It is.
It's picture
fundamentally flawless.
Yeah, perfect. It's a perfect jump shot. But back to Ben and Joe. Listen, I hope they're okay. Obviously, hope the barber recovers. He's okay. This is okay for me. If they don't get sick and they're okay, and they didn't play in this game, I don't need them to play in this game.
I like them having a couple days off.
Have a rest.
I know Embiid.
I bet they got to order some pizza and some beer. Sat and watched the game in the hotel room together.
No, they were back in. They were once it said they weren't playing.
They were out.
They were out.
Okay.
Embiid was on Twitter last night in Philly trolling them during the game. Oh, you didn't see this?
No.
Oh man! All right, let me pull up some of the tweets from our guy.
Terrell. Terrell Embiid. Did you see the one? After the Jazz game where Donovan Mitchell commented?
Yes.
Said you a fool, bro. You gotta love that man. You gotta love him. Yeah, this is not for me. I think everyone's short on the same page with this. Where I would like nice to see them, but honestly, I like the idea of them getting rest more. And we're gonna do just tease a little bit because we're gonna get out of here in a couple minutes. But we're gonna do a deep dive Wednesday into the state of the Sixers currently, and we're gonna go back and we're gonna talk heavy process.
Yeah. So he 2 tweets he sent out. The first one was, do you remember in the game when Donovan Mitchell got teed up and thrown out, and Embiid was like, kind of gesturing to the refs?
Yeah.
So it's a screenshot of that, and it says, looking at those fresh shape-ups, and I had to be the one.
That's what I think LeBron said it, maybe it wasn't him, but someone said, and then you started listen, this is what we all do. We get haircuts, but we want to look fresh for the All-Star game. So we usually fly, because that's when Allen Iverson debuted the cornrows.
Well, did you hear?
It was the All-Star game weekend. He did it before the rookie game.
Well, Dame actually had an issue with it. Did you hear this?
No.
All right, I will get to that in a second. The second tweet, Embiid put out, this is a Mickey Mouse All-Star game. Ha. Let me see if I can pull up the Dame audio real quick.
He had an issue with the haircuts?
Yeah, he had an issue with the fact that they went and got their haircut.
Okay.
Let me see if I can
Dame looked pretty fresh last night himself, so is he doing his own haircuts?
He basically, I want to try to find the audio because I don't want to misquote him, but he basically said that it was selfish that Embiid and Simmons went and got a haircut. Is essentially the gist of it. Like I said, let me try to find.
Listen, we know. The deal is with your barber, you got a relationship with your barber, man. Like, if you can find a good barber to cut your hair and know your head, it's a special thing. And I know for me, I have my guy that I go to that I trust with my head. I trust with my son's head, and it's a big deal to be able to be able to sit in a chair. I'm telling you, there's no better feeling to be able to sit down, unless you want something special done, to be able to sit in the chair and he already knows what to do. There's nothing more special than that feeling. And I'm sure Embiid and Simmons had the relationship with this guy, and it's scary going to a new barber or going someone unknown. I'm sure they have maybe Dame meant maybe they had a guy already picked out that we're gonna cut everyone's hair, maybe in Atlanta, and Ben and Joe were like, nah, we're gonna ride a guy, which I can't get mad at.
Yeah, it's pulling it up.
But the relationship with a barber and a male is very different. And it's something I cherish. It took me years to find my own personal barber and a guy that I love everything he does. And I don't have to say much. Just do your thing, bro. Unless I want something special. It's important. I can't get mad at Ben and Joe for this. And again, as long as everyone's healthy, this is not a big deal. Were you able to find it?
Yeah, just waiting for it to load. Found the video. Just got to let it load up.
But I don't know, Dame. What is Dame so upset about?
You'll hear it right from himself.
All right.
And this is from. Let me figure out. This I forget what show. Some show on NBA TV or something like that. I don't know exactly where he appeared at, but this is him hearing the reaction that they are officially out.
Okay.
I know you were a guy who talked about, needing to do this because it was kind of part of the business, but I'm curious kind of where your mind is at right now.
I saw the rumor, but I didn't know it was confirmed. They're not playing?
Yeah, no, they're not playing.
I mean, that's unfortunate. From what I read, it was before they came. So, like I said, it's unfortunate. For me, I don't even have a haircut, so it's like that. Just to show you how crazy it is there's no barbers. I haven't been able to see my barber. So for them to be in contact with somebody like a barber, which typically is something that we would all be doing before we come here, is just super unfortunate. But it is what it is. I'm here to play this game. and head home tonight. So
I mean, yeah, he's basically calling him selfish without calling him selfish. I disagree. I think when it comes to stuff like that, like, you know, that's a personal preference thing to me. Like, I don't think they were going out of their way to be reckless. Like, I mean, if like they got their hair cut like in the club, I mean, you might have a point, or like something like, you know. But I think Dame. I don't know. I mean, listen, the pandemic and this whole situation is something where it's like you can't tell people how to feel.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't want to go to your barber, then don't go to your barber. But like, I can't get mad at them for wanting to go get their barber. Like, that's not something. That's a personal preference. That's not something that's necessarily putting me at risk. Them going to a barber, and it was just an unfortunate thing. And like, I'm sure Joe and Ben aren't the only two from All-Star Weekend that got a haircut this weekend. It just so happened, and that's what I mean. Joe, he made a joke of it, but it's true. All these fresh shape-ups. Because look at it. You see everybody's hair. You guys all got barber license in the past 12 months? No. You guys went to your barber. You guys got your guy, and he cuts your hair. So everybody kind of did this, except I guess Dame. But I mean, Dame's hair wasn't looking wild. I mean, looking crazy. It looked like he had a nice line. So I don't know if he learned how to do it himself or what's going on. But these guys are doing this stuff. Like, we can't. They have to at some point be able to live somewhat of their lives. And like, getting a haircut is a big deal. Like, now for me. Look at me, I look crazy out here. My hair looks different. Like, I haven't had a haircut since October, I think. And that's just because, like, for me, I don't really leave my house, so I don't really see a point of wasting the money to do it. See my son looks nuts too. His hair we look wild. But like and we're probably not gonna do haircuts probably for another couple weeks at least. But like, again, it's a personal preference. Like, I have gotten haircuts in the pandemic. I got a haircut. My first haircut, I think, was like June of 2020. It's the pandemic. I had him come to my house. Maybe that was a little crazy. I don't know. But I would need a haircut. I don't know how to do that. So I had to get it done. So I don't know. I think Dame's overreacting a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, when you just shave your head, it's pretty simple to do it yourself.
Right.
You know, but
Right. But this, I mean, it's a misconception, especially when it comes to like urban hair, where like, oh, it must be easier because you guys' hair is so short. And like, no, because if we ever make a mistake, you can see the mistake on my head. Like, it's not like you know, when it's short hair, it's much easier to see. You can literally see it. Like,
oh yeah.
We've made fun of like people who know how to cut hair, like the lines messed up. Like, yo, you got an Atlas fade. The lines are all over the place. Like,
that's not right.
Yeah, like, and that was a big deal. Like, going to school and like sitting on the bus with a bad haircut. Or someone messed up the lines in the front of your head, the jokes were coming. So you better have a hat on or have high self-esteem. Because we're coming for you. You coming to bus Monday morning with a crazy haircut, it's about to be different for you.
I hear you.
All right, we're going to go ahead and get out of here.
We got some up and running, though, before we get out of here.
Yeah.
The merch store.
Yes. We have merch, and it is available. If you go to tpublic.com.
Not even. BradAndMemoryShow.com.
Yeah, it'll actually take you right there.
Yes.
BradAndMemoryShow.com.
Hit
shop.
Hit shop. Take
right
you there.
To the store. We have a lot of incredible options available to you. Come support the show. Come support your boys.
Got the new designs are up.
The new designs are up.
So you want to dive? You want real quick?
Yeah.
We'll let them know what I mean. These designs are kind of your brainchild a little bit.
We went a little old school with the graffiti look, like nice 80s graffiti hip hop.
Based off of our current logo.
Yes, and then we have one that's just one we kind of freestyle ourselves with our guy
Sean,
who did a logo for us. The breakfast sandwich shirt, which is already got a lot of people's eyes going to it. A lot of people love the breakfast sandwich.
We already have people who purchased it.
Yeah.
We will have ours as soon as they arrive.
Yep.
And you know, they're nice.
Yes.
I can't wait to get it.
A breakfast sandwich tank top. A tank.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
So follow me at Marques be tweeting everywhere.
At Justin Emery Show. Hit me on Twitter.
And Brad and Memory Pod everywhere. And until next time, you be with us or you be against us, but you're never going to stop us. Late.